Hey guys, this is Manshark Sub LPs. I'm Sub, this is Europa Universalis IV, and this is episode 6 of the AI's playthrough of the Millennia in the Making transfer game. Just quickly, we haven't actually engaged AI mode just yet. You've got to do it every time you reload the save. So I've selected France, because you do have to select a nation, and I just wanted to point out their diplomatic power. They have a monthly increase of -25 because they have this many diplomatic relations, most of them military access. I don't know what they're doing. I think it's stupid whatever it is. Let's engage observer mode and get going. So yeah, they were at war with someone. Let me just zoom out a little bit more. There we go. They're at war with Corellia. That probably isn't going to be an issue for them anyway. Ah yeah, they're trying to take Ladoga or something. But they're also at war with Biamia. It's up here, so they're trying to take... It's been a little bit of a gap since I started... Oh, excuse me, since I was recording, so pardon me if I repeat anything. So France is being fucking retarded. Let's have a look at what's happening over here. Oh look, Great British Colony down in, not the Bayo area, that's this one here, but in, Shitamacha. That one. The Portuguese are still... Oh, they're former German West Indies. Good on them. Wonder where the next colonies are going to be. Maybe play a game in Sub-Sahara next. Anyway, no doubt you're all hanging out to see how the Shadowrun game went. It went alright. They're not really Shadowrunning at the moment. They were trying to fight to survive because I crash landed them in the middle of the Arabian desert. To be honest, I've probably gone over this before. But see, that's Abu Dhabi there, and they crashed like down here in Varuba Kali, so they were not in a good way. But eventually they managed to make their way up after, you know, some minor events involving truck jacking. Let's have a look at how the Reformation's going. Yeah, looks like Mali has embraced Protestantism. Smart. France is still holding out and being Catholic, mainly because I would assume they're the Curia controller. I mean, I know that they are, so there's that. Oh, it's a lot easier to pick up where the colonies are in this mode than the other one. Nice. But yeah, France is the Curia controller of like 4 of the 7 cardinals, so of course they're going to stay Catholic as long as they can. Looks like they're winning that war as well. Yeah. Good. Excuse me. Anyway, yeah, so the game happened and everybody made it to Abu Dhabi, and they didn't want to go house shopping in game, so I've organised them a house, like a lifestyle, out of game, which was very generous of me as a GM, and I've just, you know, added a few little things into the house to make it fun. Because hey, if they didn't want that, wow, Nubia's going to get canned. If they didn't want that, then they shouldn't have let me just do it. That's my argument. Mongolia and Ming are still... It looks like Ming took a slab out of Korea, is that right? No, that used to be Shun. Guess I was wrong. Yeah, I'd like to play a game where I'm not in Europe and, you know, actually do alright. I played one game as Congo. That was my very first game that I ever tried. 40 years in, the Portuguese just destroyed me. It was... I wouldn't say embarrassing, because it's kind of what's supposed to happen when, you know, the colonizers rock up. But yeah, they just obliterated me. Oh, looks like France got some land up north. Good on them. Now they're just sort of sitting around. So yeah, I'm surprised that their diplomatic tech is anywhere near where it is, considering all of those military access things. Actually... Oh no, that makes sense. Right, the AI cheats. I believe that would be the case. I think the AI gets free military access. I wonder if there's a way that we can tell that. Probably not, to be honest. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the AI cheats in that regard. Because otherwise, like, this would be insane. Who's ruling the HRE? Portugal. Oh. That's kind of cool. I mean, they have a colonizers. Oh, look at this. They've just started taking, what's that? That's Jamaica, isn't it? With Tortuga in it? Or is this Jamaica here? No, it's Puerto Rico. That's Jamaica. What the hell is this? I know this is Cuba. Oh, educate me, someone. What the hell is this island right here that I'm zooming in on? This one right here with Tortuga and Los Cays and Barajonas in it. You know, I'll find out as soon as I stop recording this episode, so I'll work it out, guys. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Mali and Egypt are still beating up dudes. Mauritania. Yeah, somehow I don't think that Protestantism will get up as hard as it did in our game. Particularly seeing as the Reformed are really sort of kicking in. That being said, looks like Britain has completely dealt with Protestantism, which is surprising, considering. British were big uptakes of Protestantism, if I remember right. Looks like they're getting some rebellions around the place. Rashkan nationalists isn't great because that will cause that province to flip to Rashka. But you know, they've got all that military access. Surely they can do something, right? Yeah. Whatever they did, they dealt with it. Brandenburg sure's getting big up there. Come on, AI, look to like uniting your stuff. Oh, they're at war with Arabia, Delhi, Antioch, and Kurdistan. Why? They're trying to take Tigray? Abyssinia is trying to take Tigray back. Which is this province there that they've just managed to occupy. Dumb war to get involved in. And again, Turkestan's getting slapped down by Volga, Bulgaria, and Persia. Looks like Afghanistan's gonna actually take most of India from the look of it. I didn't pick that coming. Yeah, Turkestan's caught between a rock and a hard place, really. It's interesting with Afghanistan down there, they've actually expanded quite well. They've got German ideas, surely. Yep. They've taken defensive, religious, and trade. Not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, they've got good alliances as well. Volga, Bulgaria, Orissa, and Bengal. Maybe Orissa is not that great, but Bengal surely is. They'll be able to double team Kannada out. What are they? Catholics, so they'll be trying to convert those provinces. Nobody really getting down with colonizing Siberia. Which honestly, kind of a good thing. If we want to be completely honest about it. Wow, the Koreans only have a few ideas. Oh, the British are trying to colonize some of the Caribbean. No doubt Portugal will have some words to say to them about that, like stay in your goddamn Northern America. Who are British at war with? Perm and Pomerania. Perm? Really? Okay, it's part of another war. It's actually interesting. The British are starting to take Brittany, over Brittany areas and, you know, Normandy and all that sort of thing. How true to form. Yeah, so the next Shadowrun game should be pretty interesting. It's going to happen in about a week's time. I won't put up too much detail because this episode will be going up on the Tuesday beforehand, so I don't want anybody, you know, working it out, but basically they're being contracted in a proper goddamn Shadowrun now that they're finally in Abu Dhabi and have a place to live. So hopefully that establishes a little bit more of a team dynamic, because that's been kind of missing. And it's actually been a bit of a complaint that some of them have had, not about the way that I'm running the game, but about that the group, essentially, in that they see themselves as individuals in a group, not a group, not a team. They don't seem to have the same objectives and all that sort of thing. And, you know, you might say, hey, that's just how a game happens. I mean, a game, by necessity, a group is a collection of individuals. But they do need to have some sort of common thing. I tried to get around that by... Originally, I tried to get around that by having them be an established team, like they were already a team when the game started. They didn't have to introduce themselves and work in and all that sort of thing. That hasn't worked, so what we'll be doing on Saturday is, it feels like a goddamn classroom exercise, but everybody's going to have 5 minutes where they will introduce their character to the group, the name, what their character is good at, like their expected role in the team, details about their character sheets that they feel people should know. For example, what skills they're good at, what skills they're not good at, that you might expect somebody in that role to be good at. Somebody going to South America, come on, I mean, the Inca are not doing anything down there. We've only got 2 ideas. Like, come on, guys. Yeah, so what they're good at, what they're not good at that you'd expect them to be good at. Like, for example, Hacker Rigger has not made himself very, like, he's good enough at hacking and rigging, but he hasn't sort of put himself in a role, like a position where he can excel. I mean, to start with, he doesn't have any goddamn drones or vehicles, which, it's fine. It's a decision that he made, and it fits in with his character concept, but people know that, but it's an example of something that people would have to know prior to any sort of run, where suddenly, oh, hey, quick, send a drone out to do something. Oh, I don't have any drones. Because it'd be like, well, why the fuck not? We're in the middle of a run, why don't you have any drones? So, I'm going to do that. It's going to be... it's kind of going to be annoying that we've got to do it, but, you know, if we got to do it, we got to do it. You know, simple. And there are some other things that we need to go over with those, like, character introductions. For example, one of our characters has the vindictive quality, which is he never forgives a grudge, and... you know, he repays, it's eye for an eye sort of grudgy stuff. It's no, oh, you know, insulted me, I'm going to shoot you down sort of thing. But we need to discuss what a grudge is. And also because there's an actual mechanical thing in it. He needs to make a composure test to resist following through on, like, being vindictive and repaying a grudge. Hussite heretics. Huh, okay. What's that a part of? Catholic religion? Come on. Doesn't sound right. But yeah, so we're going to have to work out exactly what a grudge is. Mainly because the players have the idea that this quality only applies to NPCs, in that he will only be able to hold a grudge against NPCs. And that isn't quite correct. It isn't correct at all. I mean, it works for PCs as well as NPCs, the players as well as or the player characters as well as the non-player characters, because it's a 10-point negative quality, and that doesn't sound like a lot if you don't know much about, Shadowrun, like about character generation particularly. So to give you an idea, it's the same number of points that being paraplegic gives you. It's the same number of points that being a true pacifist, like a I will not hurt anything, gives you. It's a huge amount of points. It's equivalent to $50,000 for the resource purchase section of things. Hey, look, Castile is starting to colonize. Good on you, Castile. You've chosen the easy area. Nice. Oh, we've got 3 colonizers. Great Britain, Portugal, and Castile. Proud of you, bros. And you just were fighting wars and stuff. Good work, good work. I hope that that colony succeeds, and honestly it's looking like it should, because it's got a pretty big amount of growth from what I can see here. Yeah, nice. A few years that'll be up. But yes, so that sort of quality needs to be balanced, because if it's not enforced against PCs as well as NPCs, if it's just enforced against NPCs, it doesn't change anything. I mean, the only possible thing that it would change is that anybody who attacks you, you'd kill. Which, admittedly, in Shadowrun, in a game like Dungeons and Dragons, that wouldn't matter. You're killing everybody who attacks you anyway, because YOLO. In Shadowrun, not so much. In Shadowrun, it's best to avoid a high body count. It's best to, don't leave anyone around who can recognize you, but part of that is trying not to be recognized in the first place. Like, don't be obvious. Don't have some sort of group theme or uniform or something like that. Don't have anything that could make it so that you could be picked out of a lineup, or that if you commit a crime in one place, then people who, say you commit a crime in one town, and you commit a crime in another town. If those 2 crimes are similar enough that people can say, oh, whoever did this one as well, that is a bad thing in Shadowrun. Because you'll be recognized, you'll be picked up. Like, you have everything pinned on you. It's not a good idea. So yeah, leaving behind a high body count is not a good idea. For the other reason that the police I know they're in, the Arabian Caliphate for this particular one, but I feel like I'm talking about Shadowrun and less about this actual game, but to be honest, there's not too much happening. France is at war again with Great Britain. They're attacking Great Britain in the Champagne Succession War. So a succession war has occurred in Champagne. Where is Champagne? Must have been half decent for them to risk going to war with. Because France is attacking Great Britain. Ah, there it is, Champagne. Literally 2 provinces. Or is it 1? 1 province. Picardy. That's fine. Hopefully France wins that, because it'll be good for them to beat Great Britain a little bit. What's the current war score? -3. It's alright. We're also at war with Persia, Damascus, and wow, a whole bunch of places. And France is literally the only one on France's side. What, did all of your alliances break or something? God damn. Really, guys? Oh well, I hope that they win. This would be the kind of war that I'd like as a player, because then you could take a bit off every single one of these people until you got around to Great Britain and Champagne. They'll probably lose it though. We just released Brabant from the look of it. Anyway, excuse me. What was I saying about Shadowrun? I honestly don't remember. Oh, that'll learn me to get onto a tangent and actually talk about the game in the future, won't it? Oh yeah, body count. The police in Shadowrun, no matter which country you're in, actually, yeah, I totally remember what I was talking about. Yeah, so they're in the Arabian Caliphate at the moment. The problem, and it doesn't really matter whether you're in the Arabian Caliphate or, the United Canadian American States, the problem with leaving a high body count is that sort of stuff gets media attention. Media attention in Shadowrun is bad even if you can't be identified, because media attention means that the police, who are usually, not in the Arabian Caliphate, but usually in the UCAS or Europe, a contracted corporate body, not like a national thing, it means that they will focus more on crimes that get media attention, so that they can say, look how good we are, we do our job very well, hire us, continue hiring us, other places hire us. In the Arabian Caliphate, it's a state-run police force because it's a religious dictatorship, basically, or a theocracy, if you will. So that's not so much an issue, but the police will still want to be seen as doing their job. So, yeah, they will pursue people who feature in the media too much. They're going to lose this war. There's no way of looking at it. Yeah, they've lost this war. That's a shame. Fortunately, they've also lost a lot of their other bullshit which was against them. Yeah, see, they've managed to purchase another rank in a diplomatic tech, so I get the impression that the AI is completely cheating and their military access just does not count. It would make sense, because otherwise the AI would have crippling issues with getting diplomatic tech anywhere, particularly when it becomes as fragmented as France is right now. They've also managed to clear out both of their vassals. They must have integrated both of them. It's cool. So yeah, big rule in Shadowrun: avoid media attention. Simple, right? Vindictive means, or it may mean, that they're going to leave a high body count wherever they go. Anybody who attacks them and doesn't kill them, basically, or doesn't incapacitate them. So we need to talk about that when we have our little 5-minute show and tell for everybody. We also need to talk about one of the other characters has he's our mage, or witch in this case, and his thing is that he's got a dragon mentor spirit, which means that he won't, or he's got to roll the same test, a composure test, to follow somebody else's orders. We need to discuss what somebody else's orders actually means. Like, does he refuse to go on a shadow run because he's been hired to do a job? Like, I'm hiring you to go into this place and take this thing. It says, well, fuck that, I'm not doing what you tell me to do. Like, is that the thing? I would say no, because that would render the game... It would break the game. It would stop the game from happening. You'd have to find some sort of excuse to get this guy in there, and it's just dumb, to be brutally honest. However, it looks like France pieced out of that. I bet they lost it. Yeah, Champagne still exists, and it's a vassal of Personal Union of Great Britain. That's fine. Don't mind that. So yeah, we need to discuss that. We also need to discuss whether the actual phrasing of a order matters. See, one of our players has been getting around the does not follow orders thing by phrasing things as a suggestion, or a very strong suggestion, like, I think we should do, not even I think we should do this, but I'm struggling with remembering the exact phrasing of it, which is important in this case, but something like, we should do this. Like, we should do this thing. That's not an order by the technical definition of it. But he is saying, do this. Like, saying we should beforehand. It's like when somebody says, no offense, but your baby's a fucking ugly piece of shit. Like, oh, no offense though. So it's all good? Like, no, the words still have meaning behind them. So, that isn't no offense, or that sort of thing. And in the same vein, we should do this isn't really a suggestion. I mean, there are cases when it would be a suggestion, but it's also saying, like, it's not saying, hey, what do you think we should do? I think this thing here might be a good idea. It's a very strong, we should do this. And in the particular context that it's being used, I kind of consider it to be an order. So, you know, we got to discuss that. We've got to discuss some other things which various players have and have not had. Most of them are fine with qualities. It's just those two particular things we need to go over and just make sure that everybody is. It's not saying don't do this thing. It's just making sure that everybody is on the same page. And that's important. Particularly for me as the GM. If I'm not on the same page as the players as what particular things do. They're at war with Wichi. Wichi is at war with Japan. Huh. Mongolia is at war with the Oirats from the look of it. Yeah, the Oirats and Shan, which is down here, so you probably don't need to worry about them. Come on, Mongolia! Yeah, but the bottom line is that as a GM, I need to understand what my players want from the game in terms of not only theme and what's actually going to happen, but in terms of what abilities they have, what particular things mean, all that sort of stuff. And if I don't understand that, or I disagree with them on some point, that's not going to be great when it comes up. And it never is. Because people get butthurt about things. I mean, I'm fairly easygoing about it, but if you try and tell me that one thing which is plainly not just a thing is... I'm being fairly vague here. I do have an example in mind, but it's kind of spoiler heavy for any of my players, and I know a couple of them are at least subscribed to me, so don't want to do that. But basically, say you've been no, it's gonna be totally spoilerish, even if I couch it in vagueness. But basically, say you've been operating under the assumption, no, not even. Say you think that there's something so obvious that you didn't need to mention it, right? Like, oh, an example from our last game. They were in a fortified city. They were like, one of them was up in an apartment building, like in an apartment unit in this fortified city, providing tactical fire support, like vision, like tactical fire coordination for the other Space Marines. We were playing Death Watch, and like I had him he got spotted and shot at, and the argument was that the bullet couldn't hit him in the body because he was lying down. Now, he was looking through a window, and to me, if you're looking through a window in an apartment building in a fortified city, you're standing up. It's a window. Like, windows in almost every building I've been in have been, raised off the ground. They were operating in under the assumption that it was a full wall window. And they didn't mention it, I didn't mention it, because we both, well, I thought it was obvious that a window would be positioned as such. And it seems that they thought it obvious that a window would be positioned as such for them. I strongly disagreed with them on the topic. It didn't matter too much because they accepted getting shot in the body because the alternative was to be shot in the head. But yeah, they were trying to make it so that the floor of the apartment would actually provide a cover armor bonus instead of the glass, because the glass was red shit. But yeah, that it worked out for me. But there was an argument about it, and yeah, so you like to try and minimize arguments at the gaming table because, well, you're there to play a game, not to have a fucking argument about bullshit. Anyway, we've hit the half-hour mark, so I'll just pause the game right now. And stop that timer, of course. And just let you know that if you liked it, put a like on it. If you want to see more, subscribe. And, comment and all that sort of stuff below. Let me know about your gaming experiences. Except for my players, I know your gaming experiences. But in the meantime, I've been Sub. You've been yourselves. Later.